Hello dudes and dudesses. Recently I made a special video, a 6,000 sub special video, which was all about taking an industrial district like you have very often in Minecraft and making it look good, or at least better. I made it offshore on platforms and it was really great. I put in a raid farm, a portal based iron farm, and among the many comments I got was this. No, I did not. I did not include a creeper farm or a sugarcane farm. The reason being that I only included farms that I had designed, and I have actually never designed a creeper farm or a sugarcane farm. When I do mob farms, my go-to is usually some kind of version of Nimbomb's diamond water flushing farm. So, guess what we are doing today, guys? It's raining in my reboot world, and I just took you here to show you that this is actually my somewhat pathetic excuse for a sugarcane farm in this world. This is the classic design, and it's absolutely not lossless. I made this when we moved here from 115 area to 116 area. You can see it right there. You have the sugarcane, and then you have the piston, and then you have an observer that sees when it's 3 high and it pushes down here, so you get 2. The problem with that design is that it always gets some of the sugarcane to lie right there. It's supposed to end out in this water stream and go down to this chest, but it doesn't always, so it's not lossless. What you need to do if you want to make it lossless is that you have to have slimes on these, pushing them further away, but I didn't have slime when I built this, I think, so that's probably why it ended up looking like this. But this is my whole sugarcane supply, and it's not my design. It was just, I usually when I move, I often do these kind of cubicles where I just set up the things I need. When I start a new place, you can see these are all like temporary startup farms. But let's go back to the testing world, and we're back in our new testing world here, where I have built, well, I have actually built some I would call them rocket factories, and I want to show you how they work. But it's probably a good idea to jump into creative mode and get a better view of things. Much better. It's a very simple creeper farm, but let's start off with this side of it, which is optional. You can make the creeper farm by itself if you want to, if you already have a nice sugarcane farm, but this is actually a sugarcane farm, and it may look like, oh, is there room down here? It may look like the one I showed you from my reboot world, but it's different. And the difference is that before, this piston was down here, meaning that it pushed the middle one out, meaning that the top sugarcane could fall straight down and lie on this sugarcane instead of going into the water stream. So it was absolutely not lossless. And this it's 100% lossless. They go down here to water stream, into a hopper, and into this chest, and I've emptied it before I went into this world. And we have exactly the same setup in this side. Now this is a creeper farm. Let's go inside in spectator mode and see what's going on. And it's, oh, I forgot something right there. And no surprise, it's too high, and I have trapdoors on the ceilings, meaning that it blocks out any mob higher than the creepers, except spiders. And to avoid spiders, we have this pattern where we have put walls right here, so there won't be any 3x3 areas where they can spawn. And then we have water streams, and we have a row of pistons right here, and when the farm is going, they go down and hold back the water, so this is clear, and the creepers can spawn. Then they go up, and the water pushes the creepers down here, and into this water stream that pushes them into the middle, where I have stacked 24 minecarts on a hopper, meaning that they will die from entity cramming the instant they hit this. And you can see it's two exactly identical rooms like this, or 4 identical platforms, however you want to see it, and it's all driven by this clock right here, an Etho hopper clock, the best branded redstone item in the game, and deservedly so. And that's kind of the most problematic things to get early game, because you do need 2 sticky pistons, so you need to have some slime, 2 slime balls to make this. There is, I think it's 17 or something items in here, and you can see it changes from side to side, and it turns the farm on and off, or rather it pushes the pistons inside down, so they close off the water and they open for the water. Let's go in and have a look. There you can see it. Now they can spawn here, and they can spawn here, and then they're pushed off here, and now they can spawn there, and they're pushed off there, and they can spawn here, and it goes all the way through like this. And we achieve this just by using a simple delay of repeaters right here, and we power the pistons right here directly, nothing fancy. And then there's sugarcane. We use the same clock right here to power the sugarcane. We have an observer looking at this repeater and sending out a signal. And the reason we use an observer, because in here it is on for quite a long time, pushing them away. It is off for quite a long time, allowing them to spawn in here. But with the sugarcanes, we don't want that, because if it was on for a very long time, we prevented it from growing. So by using an observer, we get 2 pulses like that, very quick, and it just pushes. So it can grow, except for that split second where you push. And that's how we have 1 clock driving everything right here. And it's very, very simple to build. For some reason I built it a bit low, so I built it at sea level, which means that I have something underneath water. You don't have to have anything underneath water. This right here is, if we go in here, you can see this is the channel that leads them towards the minecarts. 24 of them stacked in there on a rail, on a hopper, going down to a chest, which is now empty because I emptied it. But you can of course lift this 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 blocks in the air. It really makes no difference, because it's all dependent on the spawning point right here. This is where the player will be standing. As you can see, I'm at Y level 181. This is X, Y, Z, and this is how high we are in the world. And you probably know this, but mobs spawn 128 blocks around you, and sea level is at, is it 62? 61 or 62. So if you do the math, which means we are well in range of loading this farm, but we don't load a lot of other things. But I can actually show you this easier, because I have the vanilla Twigs data pack installed. This was where I was standing, and everything that's within this sphere is where the mobs will spawn, and it can be a bit difficult to see from this side. But if we go over here, you can see that it's underneath the farm into the water, but it doesn't go into the ground underneath. It's all down here, and then it goes up again, and you can use this as a tool to see where you need to stand up there. But it's very simple. You just have to add 128 and then deduct like maybe 5, because the bottom of this, the sphere, it all needs to be in the spawning range, and then you're good to go. This actually means that you can in fact use this farm on land as well. If you're not very precise, it would be a good idea to thoroughly light up the area just around the farm, but you can indeed build this on land. I just AFK'd for 15 minutes, and what you see in my hotbar is what I got. 21 paper. It will give me about a stack of rockets, and we have a lot of surplus gunpowder. So I'm thinking, we probably need to put in more sugarcane farms. So we need to up our game right here, and I'm thinking roughly double the size, and that is what I've done right here. Now to do that, you don't have to have a water stream up here. It just goes down into the same water stream that we have here because of the way it's pushed down. If you're very paranoid like me, you can fill out this, so there's no way that anything could somehow get to be lying on top of these sugar canes in here, like so. And every sugarcane harvested will go down there. We have the same creeper farm, but we have double, which is basically 8 units of this. And how do we achieve this then? Well, very simple. We make a torch tower right here, and when we get at that height right here, as you can see in there, we have water. It doesn't have to be water source. You can just put in 1 water bucket right there. It will run down there, and it's enough to make the soil humid so you can grow sugarcane. And we just repeat the trick that we did down here. So we bring up down here, we bring out this signal right here, and then we have an observer looking at it, and then we have redstone on either side. We actually don't need this redstone right here. This is not needed because it takes the signal right there. The reason I put it there is because over here I've built 2 full layers with 2 layers of creepers and 2 layers of sugarcane. So, and then you need it because then it's driving the piston inside the creeper second layer on the creeper farm. I've been AFKing for an hour, and this is what I got. So let's try and make it into paper like this. So it's 3 stacks, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and some gunpowder. So we definitely need that second layer. So we got a little bit of paper and a little bit of gunpowder. Well, more than a little bit, sorry. More than a little bit of gunpowder left over. We actually got 9 stacks of rockets, and we have even more gunpowder left over. I'm pretty happy with this. But, it would be logical that if you AFK here, you would get the amount of sugarcane or paper that corresponds with the amount of gunpowder you get, so that you will be able to make exactly the right amount of rockets. So if we want to make this fully compatible, we need to build it up 1 higher. But I mean, we have all this space in the middle that we're not using. So I'm thinking, how about we make something like this? Because this one is already firing the pistons. So if we put water in here and then had sugar canes here and then build it up here, we can have at least 1 more on each side. Look at the amount of phantoms. Well, just like that, we built up 2 sugarcane farms more, or rather an additional 4 modules, and it won't be enough to keep up with the creepers, the gunpowder that we produce in this 1 layer, but it will be more or better matched now. I'm gonna say that any surplus you get, you will use for TNT. I use TNT a lot to go mining in the nether for netherite, and in sand mining, and all kinds of stuff. It does kind of look wicked. It would be a very nice platform. The only thing that's a bit annoying is that there are so many collection points. You need to collect here, and you need to collect on the other side here, and now we also need to collect in here. So maybe, but I'm not gonna do it in this video because it kind of defeats the idea of things being simple. but maybe you wanted to, you know, gather those up. I have made a 2-layer farm as well down here, and I will leave it in the world download. But this farm is actually, to be honest, not that well equipped to be made layered upwards. I mean, because there is a lot of space that is lost. I mean, it looks super cool, I think, but in order to have the sugarcane farms on the sides, we need to have this space in here because we lift it up. And I mean, you could do that, it looks cool, but it's not. I mean, there are other farms that are more space consuming than this. But dudes and dudesses, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, do leave a like, and if you're brand new, subscribe, hit that belly button, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye.